You've heard the names your whole life. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, John Adams. The Founding Fathers, they retreated like icons, their faces carved in stone printed, on money taught in schools as heroes who gave birth to freedom. But what if I told you that the story we've been told isn't the full picture, that behind the powdered wigs and patriotic speeches was a complicated truth, one that's rarely taught, one that changes everything. Welcome to Pass Forward, where we tell the stories that didn't make it into your school books. Let's talk about the real Founding Fathers. Let's start with the most famous, George Washington. Yes, he led the Continental Army. Yes, he became the first president. Yes, he turned down becoming a king, but he also enslaved more than 100 people even after he became president, even after the revolution was won. He went to great lengths to keep enslaved people from gaining freedom, including rotating them in and out of Pennsylvania to avoid laws that would have freed them after 6 months. That's not a fact most monuments talk about. Thomas Jefferson, the man who wrote "All men are created," equal owned over 600 enslaved people throughout his life. He fathered at least 6 children with Sally Hemings, an enslaved woman who had no ability to consent. Jefferson publicly criticized slavery, but privately he profited from it. He relied on it. He built wealth from it. Benjamin Franklin, founding, often seen as the wise old scientist, the intellectual, also owned enslaved people. Later in life, he became an abolitionist. He's one of the few who changed his mind, and that matters, but that doesn't erase what came before. John Adams never enslaved anyone, and he did oppose slavery. That's true, but he also believed that poor people, women, and people without property shouldn't have a voice in government. His version of freedom had limits we often overlook. James Madison, known as the father of the Constitution, helped write the Bill of Rights, but he also enslaved more than 100 people. When asked why he didn't free them, he said it wasn't practical. This is the man who helped define American democracy, and that contradiction matters. We're not telling you this to cancel them or to rewrite everything. We're telling you this because history isn't clean. It's human, it's messy, it's full of contradictions. These men did extraordinary things, they also did terrible things. They had bold ideas about liberty while denying liberty to others. They shaped a nation while protecting systems that hurt millions. And here's the real point: when we mythologize the Founding Fathers, we miss the truth of who they were and who we are. The founding of the United States wasn't just about freedom. It was about power, land, labor, wealth. Some fought for rights, others fought to preserve their status. The documents they left behind, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, are full of ideas worth believing in. But we can't ignore that the same men who wrote them often didn't live by them. This isn't about tearing down statues. It's about seeing the full picture. If we can be honest about the past, we can be more honest about the present. The Founding Fathers weren't gods. They were human. They had vision, but they also had blind spots. They gave us the framework, but the real work of freedom, of justice, of equality, that's always been up to the people, generation after generation. So the next time someone says the Founding Fathers built a free country, ask free for who? Because freedom in America has always been complicated. And knowing the truth isn't unpatriotic, it's necessary. This is Pass Forward, where we look back so we can move forward. If this made you think differently about history, you know what to do. Like, share, and most importantly, keep asking questions.